Welcome to Swarf and Chips. This week we have a takeover show with ITC. Anything to do with tooling, this is the one to watch. This is what's coming up on today's show, and I'm joined on the sofa with Joe and Paul Ensor, who is the Area Technical Manager for ITC. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Morning, Lyndsey. Morning, Joe.
Paul, good to see you again.
Yeah, and you, Joe.
Right, okay, a little bit of pressure to start off with. Want to know a little bit more about ITC, history and where you are today.
Yeah, sure. ITC has just gone through its 26th anniversary, so just over 26 years old. Originally, when we started, it was founded by three gentlemen importing a solid carbide product and distributing that in the UK. After a couple of years, we soon found it necessary to invest in our own machinery, to offer a modification and a regrind service, as well as being able to offer a specialised product made from scratch. That service has grown throughout the years, and we've invested in new machinery year on year. We also were the UK agents for a couple of different branded products, one of which was Hanita, which has now come into the WIDIA umbrella and family of products. And it's the WIDIA product that has brought in the indexable products, etc., adding to our portfolio of product. Since 2014, we've also become the UK agent for Big Kaiser product as well. In that time, we've invested in the machinery, the plant, the people. So we've now got just over 50 personnel, of which we've got 9 technically serviced engineers out on the road, with 2 specialist product applications for the indexable side and a product specialist for the Big Kaiser, who also gets involved with project work as well.
Thank you. Now we're going to learn a little bit more about Big Kaiser in just a moment's time. However, you mentioned about manufacturing. You're UK based. What are the benefits of manufacturing in the UK?
Throughout the years, the main reason of going down the line of investing in machinery and manufacturing in the UK was basically to offer the service, responding to people's requirements, urgent needs for modification. Years ago, standard carbide end mills were not available with typically a corner radius. In aerospace manufacturing, radiuses were a key part, and so being able to offer a modification same day, next day, and get product to a customer urgently really solved a key part of the market. That manufacturing has led on to quite an extensive portfolio of product that we manufacture ourselves. Because we then control our own manufacturing base, we control the costs, control the quality, full traceability, etc. But moreover, we can respond quicker to customer demands. A typical special made from a blank piece of rod into virtually any format that you require, our turnaround is typically 2 weeks.
Let's get talking the tools now. So, where are we going to start?
Really on the WIDIA side and indexable milling, really. For many, many years, people have known ITC for solid carbide product, manufacturing our own ranges and supplying the factored items that we do. But we're pushing more into the products that we're also agents for. So WIDIA do a fantastic range of indexable milling products, for instance. Typically, indexable manufacturers, when they push forward with new grades and new products, they charge a premium for it, whereas WIDIA have come into it slightly differently. WIDIA have been known for indexable milling for many, many years, and their latest range of products is taking a double-edged insert. So with the range of products that they have, they're taking a double-sided insert, which has a number of benefits. A thicker insert means it's more robust, less likely to break down. The machining capabilities of these products are far enhanced, but having a double-sided insert offers more edges, so less cost per edge. So you're getting the benefit of high performance with less cost.
What I like about the WIDIA range is a double-sided insert. You know, legacy products, shall I say, there used to be a negative insert, put quite a lot of load on the machine tool, but these are quite positive, aren't they?
Yeah, the inserts, depending on which different product you're looking at, they do orientate the inserts in different ways. So the M1200, which is a face milling product here, has a neutral insert. It's actually put into this particular body in a slightly positive geometry, with a slightly different body with the same insert. You can actually orientate that to be a high feed cutter or a standard face mill cutter. if you take something like the M200 here, the button mills, it's a positive geometry insert actually put into the body in a negative manner. This allowing you to take a greater depth of cut, taking the bulk of the cut into the body of the insert, and the positive edge almost working like a wiper.
Yeah, the buttons are back in fashion, aren't they? They kind of disappeared for a short period of time. Probably when the high feed cutter comes to the market, people tend to forget about the button mill, but it's back with a vengeance, isn't it?
Button mills are still widely used, you know, in all industries. It's a fantastic tool, makes it very easy in the aerospace industry because of the radius on the tool. It's also used in pattern making, prototyping, etc. This particular one is, you know, a step change really in the button insert. Once again, double-sided. Depending on the diameter of the insert, you can have 4 to 12 edges available. But being a much thicker insert, it's a much more robust and reliable process using that. We do high feed offering, true high feed offerings, and the latest variant in shoulder mills, vertical shoulder mills, which do offer a true vertical sidewall, but still offering a double-sided insert with more edges at less cost.
You've also got a huge drilling range with WIDIA.
Yeah, so another side that we're pushing forward on. We've done solid carbide drills for as long as we've been around, but typically now WIDIA are producing drills from 1mm diameter upwards, starting at 1.5mm with through coolant, but then going all the way through from a solid carbide offering up to about 20mm diameter. There's then a step over from a carbide headed drill over there, which is a camlock full ground carbide head into a steel body. That will go from 14mm diameter up to about 28mm diameter. But more importantly, on that style of drill, we also go in 3, 5 and 8 times diameter drill lengths. And then once again, over at the top end of those size diameters, we do a full U drill program. WIDIA, using their knowledge of the grades of carbide and the milling side, have applied it into a drilling program whereby they use 2 different grades of carbide on the U drill. They use a harder grade in the centre with a self-centering format, and a tougher grade on the peripheral of the U drill.
So on your latest drilling products, what's the benefit to the end user?
There's a couple really. Years ago when we only did solid carbide product, we could only offer a drill up to 20mm diameter really, and then we basically had to say no. We can now offer a drilling solution that takes you from sub 1mm to 68mm in diameter using the top cut 4 drill, which is the U drill style. So depending on the application, depending on the material, we have a drill that would suffice.
And what are the benefits to having the 2 different grade inserts? Obviously you've got the wearability factor, haven't you?
Yeah, on what they call the top cut 4 drill, the U drill, the harder insert sits in the centre where there's very little rotational force but there's a lot of pressure. The tougher grade of carbide sits on the outside where you've got the rotational force and taking care of a lot of the cutting. So the tougher grade resisting the wear from doing the majority of the cutting, the harder grade from resisting the pressure where there's very little surface speed.
Paul, we have a lot of people join us and they bring tools in and everything, and aesthetically they do look quite similar, but why would you say that you rate ITC? Why would you say you're the best in the industry?
That's a good question, Lyndsey.
Sorry.
No. It's a combination really between the personnel at ITC having the experience to apply the product, the range of product that's available from stock, the backup that we have from extended stock at the other from our partner companies, and the investment in the machinery. So when we go to see a potential customer and look at an application that they have, we now feel that we have a range of products available from the back-end products to solid and indexable products to offer a solution to whatever their manufacturing needs will be. All the products, whether we manufacture it, WIDIA manufacture it, Big Kaiser, and the partner companies that we have, all the products are manufactured to the highest standard qualities. So we have no problem with the quality issue whatsoever. And knowing that we can step into a customer offering a quality solution with the knowledge that we have, you know, means that we're number one.
Right, thanks, Paul, and we'll be coming back to you later because I know you've got some deals to tell us about. However, let's go over to today's technical corner with Paul and Neil.
So before your big moment, Neil, on the chairs on Swarf and Chips, talking about Big Kaiser, this is a new product. I want to learn about what it does and what it offers a user.
Okay, this is a CTL90 unit. Basically, it's for the high volume manufacturers of turn parts, so your Swiss precision type lathes. And basically what it does, if you imagine a bar fed machine running 24 hours a day, you have setup time. Every hour you're setting it up, you're losing production. This is basically to reduce that setup time.
So what's the revolution about this? What's different?
Okay, well basically it's a magnetic device that you put into the chuck. It has a weight, which then makes it, as the chuck rotates, the weight makes the clock always face the operator. So basically, instead of having a mirror and trying to bend in over
Which
all
we've
your
all
tools,
done.
we've all done that. This, you can get it set close enough with a fine adjustment inside the bore of the tool holder, and then shut the door, put the chuck at 50 RPM, and basically clock to zero.
So we're talking about sliding head lathes, for example, but this obviously isn't a sliding head lathe.
No, this
that
is
we've
just
got
for a
here.
demonstration.
But this does give us a good idea. So your stylus is inside, it's finding the positioning, and then you can change on the machine the positioning to get you 0, 0.
Absolute zero, and that's a micron readout.
And is this going to be popular for you, a popular seller?
We think so. I mean, the mainstay of our business is milling, but to get into the turning market, you have to be a bit diverse, and we think this will open some doors for us.
Good stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the sofa, Neil. Now, I know we've got some deals that we're going to cover. However, we're going to talk about, in a moment, some products.
But just on that CTL, I like the fact that the dial's always facing the operator.
Yeah, that's a
straightforward.
USP.
Yeah, so simple.
Yeah.
So really, a lot of the time people are investing good money in the machine tool, but actually this is where you're touching the metal. This is the cutting edge, excuse the pun, of what the investment needs to be. And for you, it's all about quality, isn't it, Neil?
It is indeed. Where we are superior to our competition is the fact that whatever tool holder you have, we guarantee a actual run out of sub 3 microns at 4 times diameter.
Right, and this is where you measure all of this, isn't it?
Yeah, that's called a Dynaline. It's a laser measuring system which will measure to 1 micron on actual run out. We can take that into a customer and prove our product compared to their existing setup.
Lyndsey mentioned before about purchasing the machine tool. Never ceases to amaze me. You can go out and buy, I won't mention brands, but you can spend 40,000 or £1 million on a machine tool. You go in there and there's a 20 quid tool holder and a spindle.
Absolutely.
Sacrilege, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, and there's a conception that it's just for the smaller guys where they try and save money. But I've been into some major aerospace manufacturers where they have hundreds of £1,000s worth of machining titanium, and we're trying to prove the new way of machining with a trochoidal milling cutter, where they'll spend £500+ on a 7-fluted cutter, 20mm diameter, and then put it in a side lock holder where you've got 2 M18 bolts.
The tool's irrelevant, isn't it, if you're in a side lock?
Exactly.
Okay, and what products have you bought to show us today?
Okay, we brought a range of product from the Big Kaiser catalogues, from high-speed spindles, measuring equipment, hydraulic chucks, collet chucks, and roughing chucks. All of them are manufactured to the highest standards and are checked individually, whether it be the collet, the nut, the back end, are all checked by hand before they're shipped out, and they're all measured to 3 microns, apart from the roughing chucks, which are 10.
Do they come pre-balanced, presumably?
We don't discuss balance. Big as a company, don't believe in G codes or G balance, because you get down to a certain size, and if you use the factors or the reference points to measure that balance, it can't be measured. So they don't believe in it. They believe in run out, and that's how they do it.
I guess sub 3 microns. You'd take that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Neil, you've just mentioned sub 3 micron on all of your Big Kaiser products, but how does that benefit anyone or the end user who's watching?
Okay, well, if you imagine a cutter rotating at 1500 RPM, as that's rotating and running out, you're actually creating an oval as opposed to a circular. So all our cutters, whether it's indexable or solid, has a number of teeth. As that is rotating, you're not actually utilising all those teeth. You're effectively only using 30% of the tool.
Yes.
So by utilising the sub 3 micron run out, we would expect to gain either 30% tool life if we didn't alter the cutting data, or more importantly for me, and I would imagine the end user, is to increase productivity, feeds and speeds, metal removal.
The ironic thing is you wouldn't get the blame if you used a cheap tool holder. It'd be the guy who sold you the M mill, wouldn't it?
That's it.
Where you think you'd put in 0.2 per tooth or whatever, and actually it's 0.6 because you're not cutting on the other ones.
Exactly right.
There's a lot of buzz in the industry about your spindle. What is it? And
Okay.
what's the range?
As tools get smaller, the need for higher RPM is there. What this is, there are tools on the market which are geared speed increases. So basically they have 4 gears. So if you've got a 10,000 RPM spindle in your machine, you put a geared unit in, which will then give you 40,000 RPM. This is a different thing, it runs off air. So air pressure is forced through that. The body stays stationary, the spindle inside spins. That particular unit will go up to 120,000 RPM.
Wow. So why would you need that for finishing with small bore noses? Maybe?
Yeah, like engraving, there's a big market for engraving, and so anything where you've got down to, I mean, we have customers buying 0.2 diameter cutters, and if you imagine the RPM you need to get to that machine in stainless or something, you need something like that. This basically comes in 3 areas: an RBX5, RBX7 and 12. That denotes the RPM, 50,000, 70,000, 120,000.
Is there anything else on the table that we haven't covered? Maybe these here?
Yeah, that's a kit that we're doing. Maybe if you have a job where maybe shrink fit, long reach tools would be of use, but you don't want to invest in machines. Again, we can offer this solution either integral or on a back end or on cylindrical shank. Again, 3 micron run out.
And I see there's a BT30 there. It's getting more and more popular. What's the advantage of a BBT30 spindle?
Okay, well, BBT denotes that it's a Big Plus system. Fanuc, for example, their robo drill machines come as standard with a Big Plus spindle. The difference between that and a standard BT spindle is when the tool holder is pulled back into the spindle itself deforms. So it elastically deforms the spindle itself, so you have full contact on the taper as well as butting up to the face, so you have pure face and taper contact. This again gives much better rigidity. When you're at high RPM, heavy load, there's absolutely no movement. We can't have any radial movement and push off of the tool.
Do you work quite closely with the manufacturers then?
We do. We're getting more and more involved with the OEMs, especially the ones who have a standard Big Plus spindle. So there's manufacturers out there who supply their machines as standard Big Plus. And
you've got a new tapping and threading catalogue, haven't you?
Yeah, we just launched our 2017 issue 3 tapping and threading catalogue. We've updated the range slightly based on popular brands. Through the WIDIA umbrella of companies, we've selected a range of taps that we keep in stock at Tamworth as readily available next day delivery. That's then backed up by the extensive stocks held at WIDIA, etc. across Europe. And as a little demonstration about how things work together, Big Kaiser do a tapping head, Mega Synchro, which is designed actually for rigid machine tapping, but to prevent tap breakage when retreating out of the hole. So that's just an indication of how these ranges blend together and with our expertise offer greater service. The only other thing on the table obviously is the reaming ranges. Once again, through the advances of WIDIA, they're now doing the larger diameter reamers, where traditionally you had a solid carbide and then a carbide head brazed onto a silver steel shank. They've taken that one stage further. Instead of having brazed inserts into a holder, they do a solid carbide head now, so that's fully ground. And they produce a flat actually at the shank end of the tool as well as the head end of the tool, so you can actually true the tool in the machine as well.
Right then, so anyone who's watching, they're going to be thinking about making some purchases, and you have some special offers, don't you?
Yeah, we've upgraded our website and to attract traffic there and obviously give customers benefit of price support. We weekly update a special offers section on that website where we choose a particular product set week by week and offer it that at extra discount. And also where we get overriding special offers, we advertise those on the website as well. So it's always worth checking.
Neil, you have a performance guarantee as well.
Yeah, high performance guaranteed, and we have a testers campaign. The beauty of the Big Kaiser product is that it's the interface for everything else that we sell. Whether you have a HSK machine, BBT, BT, DIN, we have an option. So whereas we have the high-end performance variable helix cutting tools, we now have the back ends to put them in and to utilise that performance.
Any deals from you, Neil?
What we do is we'll guarantee a performance upgrade. If we don't achieve that, then you don't pay. But basically to do that, we have to come on site, look at your job, what you're trying to achieve. Maybe it's a new job, maybe it's an existing job, you're breaking tools, and we'll come in, re-engineer it if possible, and give you a 30% productivity gain.
And we've just said how good it is to get you guys on the road anyway. So brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us here on Swarf and Chips. Also, just a quick one, you have mugs. So for your cups of tea and coffee,
you very
you've got
much.
some
There's
mugs.
now 4 mugs on the sofa.
Oh, ignore him. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
Cheers.
This is the Swarf and Chips summary for the ITC Takeover show. Paul, you've got 90 seconds. What have you learned from today?
Quite a lot. Going to go through it quickly. ITC carry £2 million worth of stock, which is pretty incredible for a tooling supplier, which equates to over 100,000 pieces. They've got a 2-week turnaround on specials. So if they're manufacturing special tools, you can get them in 2 weeks. Is that good? You tell me.
Very good, yeah. Design, manufacture, absolutely.
50% of the company turnover comes through the shop floor, again, which also means that 50% is from product sales too, which is a very good split. What I also was really pleased to hear, they've doubled the footprint of the actual facility or the company, or almost doubled it in the last few years, which is very, very
Great
impressive.
success story, UK manufacturers.
It is, isn't it? And also, I like the fact that they talked in detail about the WIDIA product, the indexable product. They've got the double-sided inserts. They've also got the double edges. They've got shoulder mills and the huge drilling range. Things I picked up on was their 1.5mm up to 20mm through spindle coolant carbide drills. Again, many people offering those.
Not many. It's a vast range. Through coolant, non-through coolant.
Sorry to stop you. Short on time. U-drills up to 68mm with 5 times diameter. Again, sounded pretty rare in the market, so that's impressive. Then we went on to talk about the Big Kaiser products, and here they guarantee a 3-micron run out on their tools, which again means you get better surface finish and you get better tool life. Correct?
Yep.
I know you're a tooling expert, so you can concur with me on that. Also, the BBT30 Big Plus tools. Very impressive, and not forgetting the 120k air turbine. Why would you use that?
To reduce cycle time, improve surface finish, run the tools at the speed they're designed to run at.
Engraving as well.
Yeah.
So there you have it, ITC Takeover. Don't forget to
Don't forget their offers and their deals.
Yeah, special offers as well. Like, comment and subscribe. Previous episodes here on the right, and don't forget
Whoa, what are you doing? This is my bit. Come on, ready?
as we always say,
Keep those spindles turning.